Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this year's Veterans of Foreign War Voice of Democracy Award Ceremony. As you look around, like many other things this year, the assembly looks a little bit different. We would have normally had an entire student body assembly to recognize these students. Unfortunately, we can't do that this year, but Mr. Favor here has graciously decided to come and videotape this, and this ceremony will be posted on the school's website, so it will be available for all to see. Before we get started, again, I want to welcome everybody. I want to take this time to introduce Litchfield Veterans of Foreign War special guest, Mr. Ken Hyman. Mr. Hyman is here with us today, along with Mr. Dave Dark, the program director, and it's my privilege to turn the mic over to him. Mr. Dark. Something else we have to do in this day and age.
Good afternoon. Post Commander Ray Kellenberger could not be with us today, but he sends his regards. And Ken Hyman is the president of the VFW Auxiliary at Post 3912 here in Litchfield. So we're glad he could be with us today. We're here today to honor the participants in this year's Voice of Democracy contest and to present the High School Citizenship Education Teacher of the Year Award. I hope it's permissible to take this off for just a minute. Is that all right? No, that's fine. I remember, as Principal Hoster said, standing here last year on the last day of school before the Thanksgiving break, when the bleachers were filled by all the students enrolled and the teachers and parents of all the finalists. They were all eager to cheer for those who were being honored. I wish that were the case, but it is what it is. I'm told this awards program will be videotaped and will be shown to all. I hope that all of you would show your support and congratulate all who were recognized today when you have the opportunity. I'd like to offer a few remarks with three goals in mind. One, and most important, making the awards recipients here today feel good about their accomplishments. To give some credibility to the reason and need for the programs that we recognize, and to challenge all to continue to grow in the development of their patriotism. I begin by borrowing a few quotes that will always ring in my memory from a former keynote speaker that I enlisted to speak at many local post and district awards functions over many years, namely Walter Bishop, or just Chick as he referred to be called. He was a lifelong resident of Litchfield who was a former regional superintendent of schools, a noted historian, who lectured all over the country and abroad as well. And there's so many accolades, we'd be here the rest of the afternoon. But he always prefaced his speech on those occasions by saying that this is education's finest hour, referring to programs like the one we honor here today, and that it represents in what, in his opinion, was the very purpose of education. To that he would say, the purpose of education is to produce positive, contributing members of society who will become wage earners and taxpayers who are both willing and able to sustain democracy as our form of government. He also often said that education is the eternal flame of freedom. In our school system, administrators and teachers have a formidable challenge to develop curriculum to prepare students for the future, primarily because of the myriad of career choices available to them upon graduation. One thing that virtually all students who pass through the doors of our education system have in common, however, is that they will be American citizens, regardless of their career choices. It is for this reason that the VFW seeks to partner with schools across the country. We believe that all students can benefit from participating in the Patriots Pen essay contest in the middle school, and the Voice of Democracy audio essay contest in the high school. We feel these programs challenge students at an early age to consider the freedoms that they are inheriting because of the sacrifices of those who have gone before, and to begin to formulate their role in maintaining and advancing those freedoms. Simply put, we hope to plant the seeds of patriotism. After all, you students will be the leaders of tomorrow. I believe patriotism is essential to becoming a good citizen and to the future of our democracy. Webster defines patriotism as simply love of one's country. But what does it look like? I think that it starts with a gut instinct to serve something greater than one's own wants and needs. It becomes manifest when it then results in actions of personal sacrifice, both small and large, to further the rights and dignity of all. Before we meet our semifinalists, I would like to acknowledge those responsible for conducting the program at the Litchfield High School. When I call your name, please come forward to receive an award citation which reads, "In sincere appreciation and recognition of valuable cooperation and assistance rendered in behalf of the Voice of Democracy audio essay competition." Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gregory Firstenow. Superintendent Firstenow has been very willing to work with the VFW and to promote these programs, and for that we're very thankful. Next, Principal Doug Hoster. I understand that Principal Hoster will be retiring at the end of this year, and I personally want to wish you the very best in your future. I want to thank you for all your cooperation over the years, and maybe we can finally get that round of golf in that we've been trying to do for a while. Next, teachers, and I'm not sure what happened to the teacher. Oh, there. Please come on in and join us. Since you're passing by, Dan Carlson. And also, Josh Hughes. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm sure that the VFW and the entire community respect and admire the contributions that you administrators and teachers have made in your teaching endeavors and welcoming this Voice of Democracy program. So thank you. Of course, the people most responsible for the success of the program are the 160 or so students who participated in this year's contest. Whether you are receiving a cash prize today or not, please know that you are all winners in the eyes of the veterans of foreign wars. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The first 7 certificates that I pass out here, which read, Voice of Democracy Certificate of Merit in recognition of excellence in the Voice of Democracy audio essay competition. You have all been designated an outstanding spokesman for freedom. The first 7 of those certificates are going to be in a totally random order and in no way reflect the way that the judges scored the essays. The last 3, on the other hand, will be 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place, respectively. So, my colleague Ken here is going to help distribute these. Chloe Horn. Good job. Emma Reed. Lily Brosh. Great job, Lily. Sarah Pence. Izzy Ray. Carson Lemon. Carly Gwynn. The suspense builds. In third place, receiving $100, the third place Voice of Democracy medal, and a certificate of merit that reads, in recognition of excellence in the Voice of Democracy audio essay competition, you have been designated an outstanding spokesman for freedom. And third place goes to Julia Bader. Good job. Congratulations. In second place, receiving $200, the silver Voice of Democracy medal and certificate of merit is Caleb Jurgenau. Good job, Caleb. And our first place winner in the 2021 Voice of Democracy contest, winning $500 in the gold Patriots Pen medal and certificate of merit, Alon Bader. Would you do us the honor of reading your essay?
Were George Washington suddenly to time warp to America today, as a proud American, he would be thrilled that the nation he and the other founders have created has endured. Moreover, he would be pleased that the geographical America he and the other founding fathers created has not only existed, but also expanded physically to a logical conclusion to all continental compass points, east to west, from coast to coast, and north and south, from neighbor to neighbor. He would be amused with Alaska and bewildered at first by Hawaii, although as a military commander and strategist, he would understand. However, as a self-professed American patriot who braved the horrors of wars and mired political intrigue to help these United States of America, George Washington would be alarmed at the current internal political situation of the USA, because he certainly has never envisioned this current internal chaos and would certainly consider his warping in as a call to action. George Washington would immediately formulate a plan of action with other American patriots to get America back on track as the United States of America. Historical documentation, including Washington's inaugural and farewell addresses, prove that he has always warned the dangers of too many political parties and never wavered in support of a unified American people. A united government is an effective government for an independent country that enjoys peace internally through liberties and guaranteed rights in our Constitution, Bill of Rights, and subsequent amendments, and safely externally through international trade and treaties. A successful nation remains free and prosperous when the rules of right and order prevail. Continuing trends to identify as hyphenated Americans instead of as American period encourage division and distrust, and defeat the purpose of the United States of America, where everyone is simply an American. Demands to weaken the Second Amendment and current calls to defund the police further weaken personal and public safety and exacerbate internal tensions. Political infighting likewise encourages dissension and contributes to waste. Freedom of press has clearly allowed truth to shine, yet yellow journalism is now rampant amongst media forms and has severely obscured the light of liberty and further fomented unrest. In addition, foreign entanglements with Europe and other countries often led to wars, whether in the name of helping the oppressed or over secret, often economically selfish purposes. As keeping oil flowing in other places far removed, such as Iraq, Washington had predicted and had advised against most foreign relations except for trade. Furthermore, he would be appalled that so many of America's factories had gone overseas, further reducing jobs and income. The monetary outflow, coupled with the burden of war and conflict debt upon the American people, additionally oppress them and often depresses them, especially groups still yearning and fighting for full and complete equality, such as women who will surely shock Washington with their hashtag Title IX movement, let alone their ability to vote, people of color who are no longer slaves, and LGBT+, who are no longer silent and restricted. Unifying Americans becomes a principle not of pride, but a stalwart of survival. Washington viewed America through the clear lens of a surveyor with his vast experience. He would urge us all to cast off rose-colored glasses and hide current truths and realities, and implore everyone to not let sacrifices of our founding fathers and mothers have been in vain. Action, not reaction. Americans sowing seeds of division, oppression, and inequality shall continue to reap a bitter harvest instead of the amber waves of grain, possible and plentiful from seeds of unity and prosperity. Then, and only then, shall we have and enjoy a United States full of Americans.
Incidentally, I mentioned those cash awards. They will be coming very shortly. I have learned over the times that if I get cashier's checks from the tellers at the bank, they often do that, tell who the winners are before it's announced at this ceremony. So you will receive your checks soon. The judges of this year's contest told me that it was a difficult task to choose the top 3 entries from among so many good essays. VFW Post 3912 has advanced all 3 top entries to the 12th District contest. We wish them all the best. I do want to say that judging is always subjective, and subsequent judges will not know students' names or places of residence, much less how they finished in the local contest. So anything can happen going forward. While that's going to be a hard act to follow, we have one more very special person to recognize today. The VFW and Auxiliary sponsors another program in our attempt to partner with school systems and communities across the country. It is called the Citizenship Educator Teacher of the Year Award. This award is offered in 3 categories: kindergarten through 5, middle school, and the high school. We are very pleased to announce today this year's Litchfield High School Teacher of the Year for his continued focus on integrating and promoting character, patriotism, responsibility, and accountability in the execution of his teaching mandates. Please help me welcome Josh Hughes. And in a long-standing history, I don't know if you can see this, but it's an apple. And this apple will buy you $50 worth of apples at Walmart. We brought an apple to the teacher. That concludes our presentation today. We want to thank all high school faculty, staff, and students. We wish each of you happy and safe holidays, and God bless America.